Hi guys, today I will explain you what are the product of electrolysis. What is process of electrolysis? On passing electricity through a solution of electrolyte, the part of cation collected on cathode and part of anion collected on anode. Now why I am teaching you this topic? Because there is no any product formed according to expectation. There are some changed product in aqueous solution. So I will explain you that which product will collect on cathode and anode by giving you some suitable example. Okay guys, so first I will explain you normal electrolysis of molten NaCl. Now you know that molten NaCl contain sodium and chloride ion, or we can write it in single arrow reaction. Sodium and chloride ions are formed. Now sodium ion gains one electron and form sodium in solid state at cathode, and at anode chloride ion converted into chlorine by removal of two electrons. So I am writing here two electrons. I am balancing this reaction also because there is exchange of two electrons. Electrons are passing from chlorine to the sodium, and expected products are sodium at cathode and chlorine at anode. Now what are the changes when we are taking aqueous solution of NaCl? So now I will change my topic. Here I am having molten NaCl because we are having pure Na and pure chloride ion. Now in second example I am taking aqueous NaCl. Now in aqueous NaCl we are already having sodium and chloride ion, and water contain H plus and OH minus ion. Now there is a comparison between ions for which ion will be more collected on cathode and more collected on anode. Now these ions means sodium and hydrogen ion rushes toward the cathode and collected over there, and chloride and OH minus ion are rushes toward anode and collected over there. Means there is comparison between the running of the ion. Now I am taking the example of the expected reaction at cathode. So there will be two reaction can be proceed. First Na plus gains two electron to convert into solid sodium, and H plus ion gains two electron to convert it into hydrogen gas. Now you know what a reduction potential value of sodium is minus 2.71 volt, and reduction potential for hydrogen is 0 volt. So both ions are running towards the cathode, but reduction potential of hydrogen is very much higher in compare of sodium. So only hydrogen can collect on the cathode. So expected reaction, these are two expected reaction, but actually the reaction occurred, reaction number 2, because there is due to very low reduction potential of sodium, it is very reactive metal and it cannot be collected over cathode. So expected product will be hydrogen, not sodium, due to difference in reduction potential value. Now in second case at anode we are having chloride ion and OH minus ion. So I will compare both the reaction. So what are the expected reactions at cathode? So expected reaction at anode will be, I am taking two ion, chlorine gas by removal of two electrons is converted into chlorine gas, and OH minus ion means component of water, it converted into H plus half oxygen, and by removal of two electron. These are process of oxidation. They are expected on anode. Now I will see its reduction potential value. So I am writing its reduction potential values are, for chlorine it is 1.36 volt, and for oxygen its reduction potential is 1.23 volt. These are reduction potential value. So I will take a smaller value. Both the reactions are having reduction potential value which are very close to each other. So both are having same chances to occur at the anode. But the possibility of H2 is slightly higher because its reduction potential is lower. That's why its process of oxidation is higher. So this reaction has slightly higher possibility of occurring at the anode. But actually oxygen formation is thermodynamically unstable. It required a very large potential. That's why this reaction normally cannot occur in case of chloride, bromide and iodide. So oxygen cannot be evolved out at the cathode, at the anode. At the place of oxygen, this reaction occurs at anode. So final product will be chlorine at the anode, not oxygen, because oxygen required a very high potential. Okay guys, so in these two expected reaction, first reaction occur, and at the time I will again explain you. So we are having 4 ions, Na plus and Cl minus, and H plus and OH minus. Now what are the product? Na plus cannot be converted into sodium, so it remains in the form of Na plus, and chloride converted into chlorine gas, because oxygen, due to a high oxidation potential of oxygen, it cannot be collected on anode, and hydrogen H plus ion converted into hydrogen gas, and OH minus ions remains in the same form. So OH minus ions remains in the same form. It forms alkaline solution due to presence of Na plus and OH minus, and chlorine collected over anode and hydrogen collected over cathode. So these are final product. But in molten NaCl we are having product sodium and chlorine. But in aqueous NaCl we are having product hydrogen and chlorine. So this is the difference due to their reduction potential value. The ions are present in comparison with each other. That's why expected products are different. Now this is clear to all of you that in molten and aqueous NaCl, hydrogen and chlorine are collected over cathode and anode, and solution remain containing Na plus and OH minus ion. That's why solution becomes alkaline. Now I will explain the same process by giving you another example of copper bromide. Okay guys, so I am writing my next example, copper bromide. You can revise yourself by my previous example. So second example is aqueous copper bromide. Now what are the expected reaction? Copper bromide gives copper and bromide ion, and water contain H plus and OH minus ion. So these are ions. Now there is comparison between copper and hydrogen ion for collection over cathode, and between bromide and OH minus ion have comparison to collected over anode. So I am writing the expected reaction at cathode. So two reactions are possible. Copper can be collected in the form of solid copper, and H plus ion can be converted into hydrogen gas. Now I am writing a reduction potential value. For copper it is 0.34 volt, and for hydrogen it is 0 volt. Now which reaction have higher value? The first reaction have high reduction potential value. That's why in these both two reaction, first reaction shows reduction of copper at the place of cathode. Now expected reactions at anode, I am again writing expected reaction at anode. there are two possibilities of reaction. Either Br minus converted into bromine by removal of 2 electron, and either water converted into oxygen by removal of 2 electron. So I am again writing their reduction potential value. So reduction potential value for bromine is 1. I am writing here reduction potential value. For bromine it is 1.08 volt, and for water it is 1.23 volt. So these are reduction potential value. So I will see lower value. This value have higher possibility, slightly higher possibility in compare of water. And again I am reminding you that oxygen formation is thermodynamically unstable. It is non-spontaneous process. That's why this reaction cannot occur. So only first reaction, which have higher possibility, occurs at anode, will forms its product. So now I will show you what are final product. Cathode there was collection of copper, and at anode there was collection of bromine in liquid state. So I am writing the final product again to show you that what was our reagent. In aqueous copper bromide we are having copper plus 2, H plus, Br minus and OH minus ion. These are different ions which are present in electrolytic solution. So on passing electricity, copper collected in the form of copper due to its high reduction potential value, and hydrogen remains in the form of H plus ion. Bromide ion converted into bromine, and OH minus remains in the form of hydroxide ion. That's why solution become neutral, and copper and bromines are collected over cathode and anode respectively. Okay, so this is collected over cathode and this collected over anode. Okay, now I am taking my third example. Now I am taking my third example. This third example is AgNO3 by using now we are taking AgNO3 with using platinum electrode, and you know that platinum is inert metal. That's why it cannot participate in any kind of chemical reaction. So AgNO3 forms which ions? Ag plus and NO3 minus, and water makes H plus and OH minus ion. Now in these two ions, the reduction potential of silver is plus 0.80 volt. So it converted into Ag very easily due to its high reduction potential value in compare of hydrogen. So at cathode, possible reaction is reduction of silver ion due to its high reduction potential value, and in case of anode we are having nitrate ion and OH minus ion. Now nitrate ion, in which nitrogen is present in a very higher oxidation state, it is complex. That's why its oxidation potential value is very higher and it cannot be converted into further oxidized state. That's why the process of water occurs and it makes oxygen gas by removal of 2 electron. Its reduction potential is 1.23 volt and it shows process of oxidation. So these are expected product when we are using AgNO3 in presence of in presence of inert electrode like platinum. So this is the process. So I am again finally writing what are the expected reaction. in these two parts, Ag plus is converted into Ag and H plus remains in the form of H plus. Nitrate ion, due to higher discharge potential and due to higher oxidation state of nitrogen, cannot be further oxidized, and OH minus is converted into oxygen. So cathode forms silver and anode forms oxygen, and solution will be acidic in nature. So this was my example, AgNO3 by using platinum electrode. But my next example is what happens when we are using AgNO3 with silver electrode. Now silver electrode is working electrode. In case of silver electrode, if I am using my next case AgNO3 in silver electrode. Now silver electrodes are working. So at cathode, which reaction occur? In case of H plus ion in Ag, the reduction of silver occur and it makes silver metal. And at anode we are having three possibilities, again nitrate ion, OH minus ion and silver ion. Now that time silver will be oxidized because its electrode are present and they are reactive. So silver electrodes are converted into Ag plus. So we can write here exchange of one electron only. So Ag plus electron. So this is the process. The oxidation of silver and reduction of silver occurs at cathode and anode. So nitrate, OH minus ion and H plus ion cannot participate in the cell reaction. So remaining ions are H plus, nitrate ion and OH minus ion. These are non-reactive ions in case of AgNO3. Now I will explain you a different kind of example. It is very important in case of board examination. What is the electrolysis product of H2SO4? So I am writing here example of H2SO4. So you are having two cases, dilute and aqueous sulfuric acid, and another case is concentrate and aqueous H2SO4. So aqueous means it contain water contain H plus and OH minus ion, and H2SO4 makes and sulfate ion. Now what will happen? So there are ions are common at the cathode, so hydrogen gas will produce at the cathode because the ions are common, so it makes hydrogen gas in case of concentrate or dilute. But if the solution is dilute, it contains more number of OH minus ion, so they are easily oxidized to form oxygen. So process of, in case of dilute H2SO4, process of oxidation occurs of water and it makes H plus ion, oxygen with removal of 2 electron. But if the solution is concentrate, means it contain more number of sulfate ion, so it makes thiosulfate ion by removal of 2 electron. So it depends which kind of solution you are having. You are having dilute solution or concentrate solution. So this is a special kind of solution in which process of electrolysis depends on the concentration of H2SO4. In case of dilute, it makes oxygen gas due to presence of large number of hydroxide ion, and in case of sulfate, it makes thiosulfate ion due to large number of sulfate ion. Thank you guys.